Are you in the market for a high-end fertilizer for your golf course lawn? If so, you clicked on the right video. Coming up, I discuss two fertilizer offerings, one targeted at high-end residential lawns and the other for golf course putting greens. This should be a really good one. Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to Project Golf Course Lawns Season 5. So today we're going to talk about two high-end fertilizers, one that I've used before and one I'm going to try out today for the first time. Both of them come from a company called Lebanon Turf, and let's just get right into it, because you guys don't want to see my face, you guys want to see the products, right? So the two fertilizers that we're going to be discussing today, one of them you've heard me talk about tons and tons and tons before. It's called Proscape. This is their residential line of fertilizer. And then over here, the contender, the one that might be going down today, is their Country Club. So this is a fertilizer that's also made by Lebanon Turf. Both of them are made by Lebanon, and this one is targeted more towards golf courses, in particular towards putting greens. Now, full disclosure, I am not paid by Lebanon to make these reviews. All this video, all this fertilizer was paid for with my own money. So just in case you guys are wondering, well, why are both fertilizers from like Lebanon? What's wrong with other brands? It's just what the golf supply stores in my area, this is a brand they carry that they really like, and I've tried it and I've had really good results with it, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. So just full disclosure, I paid for this stuff. I'm not getting paid by anyone else to make this video. So let's get into it. All right, so the main thing you be asking yourself is, okay, so these fertilizers are somewhat similar. I mean, yeah, this one has a couple percent points less nitrogen and a little bit less potassium than the golf course product. You know, it's 22%, 16%. But outside of that, what really makes these fertilizers different? So the one thing that you'll notice is they both have contain a type of urea, a type of nitrogen source that Lebanon really likes. It's called methylene urea. So it's a slow release type of urea that they like to use in their fertilizers that just feeds the lawn over time. It doesn't dump all the nitrogen in right away. It tends to push a lot of top growth, which most people don't want. So they tend to feed the lawn over time, which is exactly what we want out of a quality fertilizer. So the difference between these two is that the Proscape contains a methyl urea called, that's branded as called MESA. And what that is, if you look here, I poured some of it out for you guys to see. If you look here in this this jar, masonry jar, you see the little blue prills in there. That is the methylene urea that's also combined with, I think it's an ammonium sulfate is what they call it. So this is like really two nitrogen sources in one that they're using here. And you can see the difference in prill size. So this is a combination fertilizer. It's got different products all mixed together in there, but the little blue chips you see in there, that's the nitrogen source, that's the urea. Now, in comparison, let's take a look at the Country Club. So if you look at how much finer that is, actually let's get them right next to each other. So as far as the terminology goes, this is the Proscape, this is the Country Club. The Proscape has what's called an SGN, or size guide number, of something like 220. So you can see the size of the granules are just much larger. And then the one for the golf courses, for the putting greens, has an SGN number of like 80. So you look at that, it's almost like a powder, how fine that is. So the difference between these two products is that one is targeted, again, it's all marketing, but the Country Club has what Lebanon calls their maximum dispersion technology, which means that you're going to get a very uniform application of the product across whatever surface you're applying it on. And also because the prill size is so much smaller, it's going to get right down into the turf, right? So if you think about it, like if you use something like this on a putting green, like that's not all going to go into, that's not going to fall down. That's not going to settle very well into the greens, because even though that prill size is fairly small, that's still way too big for a putting green. Whereas this is going to settle into the surface. So one consideration that you want to make is what's your mowing height? So if you're mowing really short, let's say ½ inch or lower, and you really want to and you have a very dense canopy. So that's two things. One, a shorter mowing height, and if your canopy of your turf is already very dense, you might want to opt for the smaller prill size, because that's just going to settle into the turf a little bit better. This is going to work a little bit better. So that's the the one consideration just from a pure physical attribute size you might want to consider. The second is if you think about like a golf course, a golf course green is among the most highly stressed portions of a golf course. You think about it, like they get golf balls hit into them, they get divots put on them, there's tons of foot traffic on them. So as far as an area that just takes a lot of abuse, and it's also it's highly stressed because of the super low mowing heights, like golf greens are like it. Like there's not much turf grass that really takes a punishing as much as a golf course green. The huge difference, one of the biggest differences between these two products is that while they do have, both have slow release nitrogen in them, and they both have the same urea products that helps feed the lawn over time, the one thing with this guy is this contains humic acids and some sea kelp. So unlike the Proscape, which is strictly a fertilizer, this one is kind of a fertilizer and micronutrient stack. Because if you also look in here, in addition, this also contains some iron, some sulfur, a little bit of manganese. So this is a more complete product. It's kind of like combining a micronutrient fertilizer, kind of like the Brent Supreme Green that I reviewed, and also like a soil amendment technology fertilizer. So it's like it's an all-in-one that contains a bit of everything. Again, targeted at that highly stressed turf like golf course greens. So they're both again both excellent products, but this one is I'd say the more complete of the two. Now the downsides, you guys can probably guess already, right? Cost. So the thing is though that the price difference between these two is really not that much. The Proscape, you're gonna be able to pick that up for around $30 a bag, thereabouts. And that's for a 50-pound bag, if I'm not mistaken, 50 pounds. One of these bags will cover, I do my entire lawn. It's rated for, I think, around 12,000 square feet. So one bag will do my entire lawn. It's a 50-pound bag and it's around $30 a bag. The Country Club is a 40-pound bag. It covers the same amount. So at half bag rate, this covers up to 21,000 square feet, but if I apply it at the same rate as I do the Proscape, so it covers the same amount. This covers about 11,000 square feet, and this is a 40-pound bag. The cost on the Country Club is between $55 and $60, so it's about twice as much for the same coverage. But again, you're paying for a lot of other things too. You're not just buying a smaller prill size. You're also getting some of that sea kelp meal that's in it. You're also getting some humic acids. And here's the thing. They've actually spent some time doing research around the formulation that makes the best, that produces the best results for the least amount of cost in this product. In the description, if you guys want to geek out on fertilizers, I will link a study they did with, I think it was Rutgers University, where they played with different percentages of kelp and humic acids to find just the right one that works best in putting greens. So pretty much what you're paying for in this is like the correct formulation. You don't necessarily need more humic acids, you don't need more kelp. Like it's the right amount that's going to allow you to get the best result without spending a lot of extra money and just wasting it on higher percentages of those nutrients that can't really be used by the turf. So that's something to consider. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I am going to throw that into that and put it all over that. So I'm going to apply this at the full rate. I believe the setting for that on my Earthway is 11. The one thing that's kind of cool about both these, you'll notice, is that they provide spreader settings for your most common spreaders. You've got your Lescos, your Earthways, no Scotts, unfortunately. Anderson's, it's got all that listed in there. And then over here, you got the same thing. And this what's cool about this is it gives you two settings. If you want to do half rate, so half a pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet, you can use this rate, setting 9. And then on the, what I'm going to be running today for my Earthway rotary, I'm going to be running setting 11, which puts down 0.9 pounds per 1,000 square feet, which also should end up doing my entire lawn. So should be really cool. So guys, we'll throw this on the tripod, fill up the Earthway, and let's get to it. Quick tip, guys, this is an example of why you always want to fill up fertilizer on concrete, never on your turf. You see how fine, because of how fine that prill is, you see how it kind of spilled out right there on my on my patio. So imagine if that had been on the grass, definitely get a burn. So always put your fertilizer in your hopper, definitely on something, on concrete or something that's far away from the actual surface. Let's continue. Well, there you go, guys. I've applied the Country Club to the lawn, and I guess we'll just see. This should be really my last synthetic fertilizer application until mid to late July, when I might put down like a light half app of Milo. So this should carry me throughout the remainder of spring into the summer. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the results are. So now I'm going to take the spreader, finish up the rest of this lawn. I won't film that for you guys. You guys kind of get the idea of how the product works and how it goes down. If you guys found this useful, please consider sharing this content. Definitely like, and if you're not yet a subscriber, consider subscribing. Again, if you guys are not following the Fix My Ugly Lawn series, you're really missing out. It's been a great time, like transforming Alex's lawn. It's really coming along really nicely, and you want to be a part of that, so you subscribe so you don't miss any updates. Guys, again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys found this discussion about fertilizers super helpful. Again, if you want to look at that study that kind of discusses all the testing that went into the Country Club line of fertilizers, check in the description. I'll have that linked. And it was a really interesting read for me. Perhaps some of you guys will enjoy reading it as well. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you next time. Have an amazing day.